It's the Joseph Bristol Show.
Welcome to another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show. Okay, so on today's episode, I was actually going to make this like a two-part episode, or actually two separate videos, but I'm going to just do one big video. I probably should have made it at the beginning of the quarantine when it first started. So today's episode, I want to talk about solitude and self-discipline, as well as like self-control, right? So with that being said, let's start off with what is the difference between being alone or loneliness and solitude, right? Because these are similar, but they're not the same, right? So and I talked to a couple people, and ultimately I think that we all understand loneliness is uninvited. So no one asked to feel alone. Solitude is welcomed. So we want to be alone. So we look for solitude, right? And then it's kind of like that. So in that sense, it's perspective. How do you feel about being by yourself? Do you feel like you're alone, or do you feel like, you know, you have some solitude, like you get to enjoy yourself by yourself, you know? But in the sense of perspective, it kind of goes into being in a room full of people and feeling alone, because that's happened to me numerous times. I've been like around people or with people, and I still feel like I'm all alone, like I'm by myself, even though I'm with people. So with that being said, I want to talk about the benefits of solitude. So if you feel alone, that's fine. But you have to find a way to change that feeling of loneliness into a feeling of joy. So how can you do that? How can you find joy in your solitude, in being by yourself, right? So there's a couple of different things that you can do, that you should do, that is important to the joys of being alone, the joys of having solitude. What are some of a few of the things that you can do? So sleep. A lot of people don't understand the importance of sleep. And I don't even emphasize it enough in a lot of my videos. But if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to feel better, if you're trying to deal with anxiety, depression, not too much sleep, but a right amount of sleep will really help you a lot. Even skincare, even in taking care of your skin, you know what I mean? Sleep. A lot of people, they wonder why they have bags under their eyes, or like why they have these dark shadows under their eyes. Not everyone, but a lot of the time, it's because you're lacking sleep. You don't sleep enough. So sleep is one of the things that you can get out of solitude, out of being alone. You can sleep more. You can enjoy your sleep. Actually get some restful sleep where you sleep throughout the whole night. You sleep for a good 8 hours straight. No waking up. No, you know what I'm saying? You just get a good, well rest. You wake up well rested. There it is. Another joy about being alone is video games. So video games are a great waste of time. I mean, great. I personally like video games as a way to waste my time better than watching TV, better than Netflix and Hulu and all that. Because with the video game, one, most of the time you're interacting with other people, depending on the game that you're playing, right? So you can meet friends online, you meet people from all over the world because you're playing games. Video games force your mind to think, so you have to think about problem solving and how you're going to solve this problem. I think a lot more women should play video games. Like, I think a lot more women should play video games, because a lot of the times girls are bored, and when they're bored, they're looking for attention. They're looking for someone to entertain them. I absolutely hate that idea that like girls are like, entertain me. What am I, a clown? Like, what are you talking about, entertain you? Well, whatever. So video games is a great way to waste your time. Now, the reason why I'm saying it's a waste of time is because there's nothing that you really get out of a video game. Do you exercise your mind? Yes, completely, totally, you exercise your brain. It's good visual stimulation. It's nice. But at the end of the day, it's not progressing your life in any way, shape, or form. Unless you are a professional video gamer, or, you know what I'm saying, in which case that's basically practice. It's like work. But I think video games are a great thing, and I encourage, my niece used to play video games with us all the time, but we were such jerks to her when she would lose that I think that's what really turned her off from playing games with us. So with that being said, I encourage people not to talk smack when you're playing video games. If you hear your kids talking smack to each other, don't let them do that, because it's just not cool. You know what I mean? It's not cool. And when I look back at it now, I really regret, how we used to play games together, because we used to always play video games. Me, my niece, my nephew, my son, like we'd game. And we used to just talk smack to each other, but we never really stopped to consider that somebody's feelings like genuinely got hurt, even though it was never with the intent to be malicious. But after I never forget, after we really like came on her one day, like she just never, I never saw her play games again with us, like ever again. So, but I encourage girls to play games. It's a great way to stay out of trouble. If you're into, it's a great way to meet boys too, but that's when, whatever. The number one benefit of solitude, of being alone, is self-reflection. You get, and there's numerous things you can do when you're alone. You can meditate, you can exercise, there's a lot of other things. Play video games, watch TV. But the number one thing that I think people should really try to get out of solitude, out of being alone, is self-reflection. Just stop and think about your life. Like, really think about your life. Like, get out a piece of paper, write down the pros and cons of the relationships that you have. So some of the things that I like to do when I'm alone, sometimes I will write down the name of a person, and then I write down the pros and cons. I write down the pros of dealing with them. I write down the cons of dealing with them. Like, I like to know, why am I interacting with this person? Another thing I like to do when I'm alone, I write down my own pros and cons. So I write down, what are the pros of knowing me? What are the pros of dating me? What are the cons of knowing me? What are the cons of, dating me? Like, I take an inventory of myself. What have people said about me? What do people say negative about me? What do people say good about me? And I just try to self-reflect. I sit down, I think about my life. What jobs have I had? What do I want from the future? What do I want from this year? So I try not to even think too far ahead. I think about just the year in general. Like, what do I want? You know what I mean? And I like self-reflection. Another thing I like to do, I like diaries, or I guess diaries, journals. I just like writing. I like writing down my day. What happened to me today? How did it make me feel? Who did I talk to? What did I talk about? So that when I'm feeling sad or lonely or I look back at these things. I look back at my journal entries. What was going on with me a couple of days ago? What happened to me yesterday? You know what I mean? And this kind of gives me a sense of deeper understanding of myself, of who I am as a person, and I like that concept, that idea, and I would encourage others to do the same thing. Write down, about your day. What did you do today? How did you feel? Who did you talk to? Just write down those things about yourself. Self-reflection is a huge, huge thing. I was talking to my coworker today, and he's pretty young. He's like 23, and he's telling me, I gotta have fun. YOLO, you only live once, and I could die tomorrow, blah blah blah. And I'm telling him, listen, man, you're right. You could die tomorrow. You could die right now. You could die in 10 minutes, or you can live to be 80. You can live to be 100. And what are you going to do when you're old and you spent your life only living for today? You're gonna still be poor. You're gonna be working at 70, 80 years old. Do you want to be working at 70, 80 years old? Do you want to have a job at 65, 68? Like, think about it now. You're 23. You barely want to come to work. You know what I'm saying? You be tired. It's hot outside. You don't want to do the work. How you think you're going to feel when you're older? You're definitely not going to want to do the work when your back hurts, your knees hurt. You're you know what I'm saying? Like, you're older, and your body is older. Your body's more tired. So if you don't want to do it now while you're young, what makes you think you're going to want to do it when you're older? You have to think about the future, bro. Have fun. I'm not telling anybody not to have fun, but save your money. Invest your money. Think about the future. What do I want out of life? I was telling him the same thing about his relationship. I'm like, yo, yeah, you can have fun now, but what are you going to do when you're 40 and you're by yourself? You don't think you're going to want somebody there? Most people, almost everyone wants somebody. It's just that simple. No one wants to be alone. Adam was in paradise with God. And he was like, I'm lonely. And God was like, alright, cool. I'm going to make a woman for you. I will make you a spouse. Adam's like, yo, there's two of everything, but there's not two of me. So what does that tell us about being alive? It tells us that most people, everybody wants somebody. Everybody wants somebody to be there with them, to go through this journey of life with. You know what I mean? So just have fun, but don't do silly things. Don't ruin your future for today. I used to tell my niece and nephew this, like, sacrifice today for tomorrow. If you give up something today, you can gain the next day. You can gain in a couple years. It's okay. Just wait. Now we're going to get into self-control and self-discipline, right? So how do you get self-control and self-discipline? A lot of people think they have self-control, and they do in some aspects, but in some aspects they don't. Same thing with self-discipline. A lot of people think that they're disciplined, and in some aspects you are, and in some aspects you're not, right? So how do you get this self-control, self-discipline? Because everybody will tell you, oh, it's great, have self-discipline, have self-control, but how? How do you get it, right? So I thought about this for a while, and I realized that it's control. You have to control your life. So what am I talking about when I'm saying control your life? You have to control when you go to sleep. This goes back to sleep. You control that. You decide when you go to bed. I hear people, oh, I don't go to bed till 3 in the morning. I can't sleep. What are you talking about? You can't sleep. Of course, you can do anything you want to do. Go lay down in your bed and close your eyes. Oh, I won't fall asleep. So you're going to get up and watch TV? No. Lay in bed with your eyes closed. I'm almost certain if you lay there for an hour with your eyes closed, you will fall asleep. I'm almost certain of it. And if not, count sheep. Lay down and reflect about your life in the dark so that your mind and your eyes can relax and you fall asleep. Control when you sleep, right? That's like one of the easiest things to control in life. Control what you eat and when you eat. That's another thing that's very easy to control, but we don't. We very rarely do. This is a part of self-control, self-discipline. So what do I eat and when am I eating it? You control that. You control what you're putting into your body. Now, the reason why you're trying to do these things, why you want to control when you sleep and what you eat and how you eat, it's because that's going to help you be able to say, I don't do that, or I won't do that. When a while ago, my cousin and I, we were talking, and he was saying to me, the reason why kids should go to religious schools when they're young, before they hit middle or high school, why they should go to a religious school is because it'll teach them that they're different from other kids. So when you are a young Jewish kid and you understand your religion and you understand your faith and you go to a public middle school, when the other kids are celebrating Christmas, you don't have any problem saying, I don't do that. I don't celebrate that. I don't do that. I'm different from you. So when the kids are smoking weed, going to go rob a store or something like that, you can say, I don't do that. Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm different. I don't do that. And that makes sense. We have to teach our kids that it's okay to be different. Yeah, they're still your friends, but you don't have to be in the crowd to be in the crowd. Control what you eat. Control when you sleep. Another thing that you can control what you see. Control what you listen to. These are also very, very important. So if we understand what a commercial is, a commercial on TV, a commercial is literally designed to get you to buy whatever they're showing you. Everything you see on TV is put there for a reason. Everything. Everything in the background is put there for a reason. It's designed that way. It's made to subliminally put messages in your mind. Inception is a real thing. You can incept people's mind. You can put ideas in someone's brain without them even knowing it. They do it all the time. There are literally college courses on psychology of people. So what you watch is very important. The things that you listen to is very important. So, there was a lot of uproar about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's song, The WAP. Right? And people will say, oh man, they been had sex and music. Male rappers been rapping about sex and music. You're 100% right. But was it right back then? And is it right now? That's the real question. Are we going to just keep doing something that's not right? Or are we going to eventually say, hey, listen, we used to do that, but we're not going to do that anymore. Let's do something different. So be careful what you're putting into your mind by what you see and what you hear. You want to listen to things that give you life. You want to watch things that give you life, that inspire you, that motivate you, that push you to follow your dreams, to be a better person. You want that to be what you're ingesting into your body, into your mind, right? So I love music. Like, I listen to music usually when I come home, and a lot of the music that I listen to is usually love songs. Like, I like a lot of love songs. Not really heartbreak songs, but like songs about being in love, the joy of having somebody, right? I listen to a lot of that. Another thing I used to listen to real heavy is audibles. I used to listen to a lot of audibles, but as most people know, I've been pretty anti Amazon, so I slowed down on my Audible book listening to. But audibles are a great thing. You can listen to audibles on YouTube. They have, of course, the app Audible that you can listen to. So that's just something to think about. That what are you listening to? What are you watching? When are you going to sleep? What are you eating? When are you eating? All things that you can control. And by controlling these things, you teach yourself self-discipline. You practice more self-control. And with practicing these things that you're controlling, another thing that this does for you is it's going to help you boost your self-worth. It's going to help you boost your self-esteem, because now you say to yourself, yo, I don't eat certain things. I go to bed at a certain time. This is my life. This is me. I'm doing this so I can better myself, so I can feel better, so I can have better, so I can do better. So when you start to do that stuff, you have to understand your worth. When you start taking inventory of who you are, what are the pros of dating you? What are the cons of dating you? What are the pros of being your friend? What are the cons? Like, what are the pros and cons of the people that you're interacting with? When you write these stuff down and you can look at it, it's going to help you understand why giving someone access to you is a privilege. It is a privilege for someone to talk to you. For people to be able to call your phone, text your phone, be in your house, be in your car, for people to be able to call you their friend, that should be a privilege. Everyone can't do it. Everyone can't do it. And if everyone's your friend, if you're like just walking around, hey, how you doing? Oh, that's my friend. If everyone is like special to you, then is anyone really special to you? You know what I mean? Like, you're not, it's so easy to get to you. How are you special? The reason why celebrities are special is everyone doesn't have access to them. Everyone can't tweet Beyonce and she replies. Can she reply to a lot of people? Of course she can. If she sat down on her computer and was on Twitter and just, responding to a bunch of random people, she could do that. But they're not doing that. One, they're busy. They're doing other things with their lives, so they're not really worried about people. And two, the people who they want access to them have access to them. So there are people who call Beyonce and she picks up the phone. There are people who text Rihanna and she replies. Everyone can't do that. You are the same way. Limit access to yourself. You are special. It is a privilege. Everyone cannot text my phone and I reply. Everyone can't call me and I'm going to answer. It's just not going to happen. I'm special. I'm not going to give everybody access to me. That's silly. I'm not going to give everybody access to my kid. That's silly. That don't make no sense. So you have to understand your worth. If you're a $100 bill, baby, you a $100 bill. But are you in the hands of a bum or are you in the hands of a millionaire? That's the question. With the self-control thing and self-discipline, this is going to bring us into the highest level of being a human, like the greatest human amongst all of us, is the most spiritual person amongst all of us, but also the person who has total self-control. So what am I talking about, total self-control? I'm talking about someone who can control their breathing. So if they want to breathe fast, they breathe fast. If they want to breathe slow, they breathe slow. Someone who can control their emotions, they control their words, they are in total control of their body. When they want to cry, they cry. That's what makes an actor special, even a porn star. Most male porn stars, they have to be able to ejaculate on command. So imagine that. And they have to be able to hold it in. So people think porn is like some great thing. These are men with a lot of self-control on their bodies. So they're in a moment of pleasure, and they're able to stop a natural body function, which is to ejaculate from the pleasure. And they can hold that in until the director says, all right, time for the money shot. And then they let it out. This is self-control. This is controlling your breathing, controlling your body, controlling your emotions, controlling your thoughts. A negative thought comes in, and you have the ability to not ever think negative. You control your thoughts. You control your emotions. That is the highest level of being a human. Most people can't even achieve controlling their anger. They get angry and they immediately snap. And then a couple minutes later, they got to be like, yo, I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't have said that. That happens to me all the time. All the time. I get angry, and sometimes I don't say nothing because I know I'm going to say something that is going to be hurtful. So I'll just say nothing because I don't want to hurt this person. Or maybe I do want to hurt them, and then I just let it out. I say whatever I want to say. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. But the highest level of being a person, the greatest person amongst all of us, is the most spiritual and the one who can control themselves the most. Self-control is a very powerful thing, right? So another thing about solitude and being alone. During the quarantine, I was like watching, or not really watching, but on social media, like I hear a lot of people, they're like, oh man, I'm bored inside. I'm ready to go outside. I want to go here and I don't want to be inside and I want to go there and I want to get out of the house and da. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, don't you pay rent? Like, you're paying for an area. Like, you pay to live somewhere. Why are you in a rush to get out of where you're paying for? Now, just stop and think about this. You pay $1,000 for rent. You go to work 8 hours a day. Your day off comes, you leave your house, you're at your friend's house, you're at the club, you're at a party. So, what is your house for? To go home and sleep? That's all your house is. You're paying $1,000 a month just to have a place to sleep? That's the case. You might as well rent a room for $500. You might as well go live with your family and sleep on the couch. If all you want is some place to sleep, if you're always going to be out in the street at someone else's house, why not just live with them? You pay rent somewhere. Make the place that you live in as comfortable as you need it to be. Get the TV, get the surround sound, buy the video games, get the lighting, get the carpet, get the vase, get the plants, get whatever you need to make your space comfortable so you want to be there. It's your space. You shouldn't feel alone in your space. You should feel good. You should be happy. You should feel relaxed. I'm in my favorite couch. I'm watching my TV. I love my TV, nice and big. You should feel good about where you are. If you don't feel good, then it's time to figure out, how can I make my space more happy, or where can I go to be happy, right? If you're not happy in the space that you're in. But you should be happy in your space. Like, that is like crazy to me that people are like, I gotta get out of this house. What? But then again, I'm weird because when I'm into someone, I want to be around them like all the time. I remember me and my baby moms, we worked at the same job. We went to school together and we lived together. We was in the same class studying the same stuff. And that still wasn't enough for me. I still wanted to be around her more. But like I said, I'm an extremist. I have a very obsessive personality. So when I'm into someone, I want to be around them like all the time, 24/7. I want to know, what are you doing? Where are you going? Not because I want to control them, but I want to know. I want to be a part of their life. Like, I want to be a part of their life. So the last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to solitude and self-discipline and self-control, and this last thing kind of is for both. So if you're feeling alone, it's nice to have friends. It's nice to, if you feel alone, there's nothing wrong with calling someone to talk to, and me personally, if I call somebody, because I feel alone, usually if I'm calling my friend because I feel alone, I immediately tell them, hey, yo, listen, I feel lonely. I just want to talk to you for a bit. What are you up to? What are you doing? This is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because I feel alone. So I'm going to tell them why I'm calling them, right? And I think that it's important that people find people who want what they want. My cousin always he kept telling me this. I need friends that are writers because I am a writer. And if I have a friend that's a writer, then I can call them about writing. And if I'm hanging out with them, they're going to say, hey, man, when's the last time you did some writing? You know what I mean? I remember back in the day, boy bands. And this is like my favorite example. How does a boy band come about? Usually a group of guys are like hanging out. Someone starts to sing. And they're all like, oh, man, you got a beautiful voice, bro. Hey, listen to me sing. And then the other guy's singing. And they're like, oh, man, it's a good voice, man. Oh, we should start singing. We should start a band. If you play an instrument, you're hitting up your friends. Hey, man, you should come over and play some music. You know what I'm saying? I got a new drum set. Oh, yeah, I'll bring over my guitar. Now you're playing music together. So you want to find people that want what you want. Or at least have people who inspire you, who motivate you. I'm big on talking life into people. Because it's so easy to feel alone. But you're only feeling alone because you feel like you have nothing to do. Which most of the time, this sense of loneliness is more boredom. So you're not really doing anything and you're looking around and you're looking for entertainment. So you feel alone. But if you just surrounded yourself with people who want what you want. So if you're like, yo, I want to be rich. You want to hang out with people who all they talk about is ways to get rich. Yo, man, I just saw this video on YouTube. They talking about investing, dog. Yo, I'm going to come over and show you this video. Check this out. Yo, my cousin works for the solar panel company and they getting solar panels for 50 cents each. Yo, man, let's get $500 and buy some solar panels. Whatever. But the person you're hanging out with they want what you want. They're pushing what you want. If you're a writer, they're talking about writing. If you ride bicycles, they're talking about bicycles. If you like going to the gym, that's what they're yo, man, yo, you went to the gym today? Nah, I ain't go to the gym yet. Yo, come on, man, I'm going to the gym. Yo, I'm going to come pick you up. You want someone who wants what you want, and they're going to push you to that. It's important to have that person in your life that wants what you want, that's going to speak life into you, that's going to motivate you, that's going to inspire you, right? And in your solitude, they are going to hold you accountable. When it comes to self-discipline, they're going to hold you accountable. So when you have a friend that's a writer and you're a writer, they're going to say, yo, when's the last time you did some writing? Or matter of fact, you might go over there, see them writing, and that will make you want to write. Because you go over, they're writing, you're like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, man, I'm writing a new story. And then you're like, oh, man, I haven't written in months. Let me see what you got. I got the hiccups. Let me see what you wrote. And I'm gonna work on some writing too. I'm gonna write too. I remember this girl that I used to talk to, she made YouTube videos. I make YouTube videos. She would hit me up and say, hey, can I come over and we can work on our videos together? And I used to like that. Like, that would make me feel good inside. Like, wow, yeah, let's do that. You know what I mean? There were times I didn't even want to make a video. And she hit me up out the blue and say, hey, check out this new video I made. That would inspire me to get back to my stuff. Let me make some videos too. She would ask me, hey, did you make a video? Oh, last time you made a video was like a month ago. What's up with that? You're not doing that anymore? Like, you want that in your life. You want people that's going to push you. That way it helps you better with your self-discipline and your self-control because you're being held accountable. That kind of goes back into talking. So if you tell someone, I'm one of those people. Like, someone will say, oh yeah, I want to go to college, man. I want to be a psychiatrist. And if I know it's open enrollment, I'm going to hit them up. Yo, you know it's open enrollment at the college by your house. You're not going to sign up? Didn't you say you want to be a psychologist? Hey, check out this video I saw. They offering psychology classes online. You don't want to check that out? Like, I'm going to try to help you achieve your goal because you said it. You said it. You said it to me. I didn't say it to you. So I'm just helping you be the best version of you that you can be. But that's just me. Everybody, I think, needs people like that in their life. They need someone who's going to push them and motivate them. So let's recap the video. What am I talking about? If you're feeling lonely, change your perspective of the situation and enjoy your solitude. Get your sleep. Play some video games so you can work out your mind as well as entertain yourself. Call your friends. Tell them you feel lonely so that you can feel better. Stop and take an inventory of yourself. Self-reflect. Stop and think about who you are, the life that you want to live. That's what you can do in your solitude. How do you get self-control and self-discipline? You get that by controlling your life, controlling different aspects. Control when you sleep, control what you eat, when you eat, control who you talk to, who has access to you, control what you watch, and control what you hear. You have to control the aspects of your life. That is the best and greatest way to gain self-discipline, maintain self-discipline, and educate others on self-discipline. So, that being said, thanks for watching another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show. Let's all remember, man, we all out here just trying to do the same thing. Be happy and survive. Y'all stay blessed.
Leave a comment below.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Make sure you like and subscribe.